Time defines our past, confirms the present, and shapes our future. With each sunrise, a new day begins and time marches on. Throughout the few decades we're given here on Earth, we share in wondrous triumph as well as humbling tragedy. Some of our greatest achievements: the light bulb, the first flight, the automobile, man's first step on the moon, all pale in comparison to the disasters we've been so unfortunate to experience. We have seen and will continue to see many changes in our society. And yet, while the world changes around us, one thing remains constant: need. The need for faith, hope, and love. In 1909, a need emerged in the town of Columbia, Tennessee. A postal worker by the name of Scotton and his wife passed away, leaving behind 3 children. The local church, the post office, and the city of Columbia pulled together to meet the needs of these children and established the Tennessee Orphans Home. The Scotton children became the first of many whose lives would be positively affected by these Good Samaritans. This event marked the humble beginning of what would become a historic Tennessee landmark of service. By the time of the Great Depression, the Tennessee Orphans Home had been entrusted with the care of more than 100 children on a daily basis. While the nation struggled through one of the roughest periods in our history, the collective efforts of the community and dedicated Christians were helping to provide food, clothes, shelter, and the love of God to these children. The home continued to grow, so much so that in 1934, the decision was made to purchase the Branham and Hughes Military Academy property just north of Columbia. The next year, the orphanage was moved to the 55-acre tract in Spring Hill, Tennessee. Through the ensuing decades, the need for a safe, secure environment for children who had no one to care for them became even more apparent. From the mid-40s to the mid-60s, over 200 children were cared for by the Tennessee Orphans Home on a daily basis. With an increasing need to expand, adjacent farmland was donated and generous citizens gave portions of their estates to help. The challenges facing the children were ever-changing and more were being abandoned. Constantly forced to change with the times and needs, in 1982, the Tennessee Orphans Home became Tennessee Children's Home. No longer just orphans, now the residents included the abused, neglected, abandoned, drug and alcohol addicted, and those influenced by gangs. As needs changed, the original institutional approach with central dining, central laundry, and dormitory living was replaced with family-oriented group homes. Dormitories were remodeled into single-family settings, with a maximum of 8 children in each home, and central dining was replaced with family meals. The children were given a family atmosphere where they could feel comfortable and loved. In 1988, the home merged with the West Tennessee Children's Home. The improvements in both programs and services offered led to a great period of sustained, stable growth. In 1990, a home was established in Paducah, Kentucky. 2000 and 2001 saw mergers with Happy Hills Youth Ranch near Ashland City and East Tennessee Christian Services in Knoxville. A home is now underway in Belo Horizonte, Brazil. To date, Tennessee Children's Home has cared for over 18,000 children and disadvantaged youth.
We had a lot of sibling groups. Wasn't uncommon at all to have 4 or 5 brothers and sisters placed here. They lived here for several years, went to public school, and looked at the home as their home, as actually the place that they come back to. And the house parents were more of substitute parents back in the 80s, and today we are more of a treatment facility. We're looked at as a help to get them back home so they can successfully live in home and work out the issues they've had with their families instead of trying to raise them here on our campus.
Over the years, there has been a constant improvement of services, but one thing has remained: the need. The problems these children face vary widely and change constantly, and for the past 100 years, Tennessee Children's Home has made a commitment to meet those needs just as a loving family would.
There are a lot of needs in this world right now, and in our society they get greater all the time. But children are more a victim than adults. Children don't have a way of helping themselves, and the way I look at it, I want my efforts to be toward helping children because I think they need the help and can't help themselves.
We take care of their physical, their emotional, their social, educational, and spiritual needs. And we see it as an evangelism effort because since we're faith-based, we reach out to young people with the gospel, and a good number of them respond positively. It is my conviction that whether they become Christian or not while they're here, they're better off when they leave because of their association and with the knowledge they've gained and with the experience they've had here with the Christian agency.
We bring them in, create that sense of belonging, try to meet some of those needs, immediate needs, and make sure they have plenty to eat and plenty of clothing. You know, as Jesus said, unless you take care of those basic needs, people are not in a position to hear what you have to say for us, the gospel.
I kind of look at us more of a mission field, and we are benevolent in the fact that we do take care of young people and provide for all their needs, but we've really emphasized the spiritual. Every young person that comes through the Tennessee Children's Home has the opportunity to hear the gospel being taught, and they also, even I think more importantly or as important, is they see Christians living as they should live.
In our own lives, we try to exhibit Christian virtues and Christian behaviors. Also, we give them the opportunity to be exposed to Christian-related activities, like we go to church 3 times a week. So the evangelistic component of this program, I think, is very good. These kids are getting a lot of things that they never had before.
The house parents and the people that come to do this job, I believe that's their main focus. It's a mission, and it's a spiritual mission. And I think we all are on that page. That's our first and foremost priority.
Most of these kids, when they talk to you about their background, you can realize that what we have to offer them at the children's home is a lot more and better than what they used to. We give them 3 meals a day. We give them 2 snacks a day. Some of these kids, they tell you, say, when I'm home, I don't eat.
We take in some pretty difficult kids, and now we also work with the families as well in an effort to strengthen the family. We believe that working with the family unit, once this young person is ready to go back home, the family is ready to receive them, then it will work a whole lot better and strengthen the families.
There are certain kids that even after they leave us, we use the resources that we have here to provide for them and to help them and their families.
We use every available resource and sometimes overspend in an effort to help these young people and their families deal with the issues that they're faced with.
These services offered by Tennessee Children's Home are designed to be flexible, so each child is treated as an individual with unique needs. Professional services include performance-based and evidence-based programs.
Tennessee Children's Home has even tried to change to become a treatment program to help young people that have had a little bit tougher time making good decisions, as well as those that have come from families that have caused some problems for them.
We started the A&D program in 2004, and that was to meet the needs of children that we saw coming in with definite alcohol and drug-related problems, more intense. And we started a counseling program. The residents in that program will have group counseling every day for about an hour to an hour and 20 minutes. We have a licensed alcohol and drug counselor that oversees that program, and we're using an evidence-based curriculum, the Living in Balance program by the Hazelden Foundation, that accommodates that.
Well, that's part of the evolution of the Children's Home over the past years, is that we've looked at every aspect of a child's life, and we've always reacted well to the needs that they have, and we've changed as those needs have changed. So I feel like we're doing a very good job of meeting those needs.
Tennessee Children's Home is associated with the Churches of Christ, Giving Matters, and Christian Child and Family Services Association, and is the only children's home supported by the Churches of Christ with campuses across the state. The home was awarded accreditation in 2006 through the Council on Accreditation, displaying a firm commitment to excellence.
We do have our campus school in Spring Hill. We are getting ready to open the school back up in West Tennessee. And primarily the reasons for that is the young people that come into our care have had some pretty serious educational issues. They are either behavioral or they get behind in school academically, and they just need some more individualized counseling and structured education. Currently we have been accepted by the state of Tennessee to be one of 20 performance-based contracting agencies. We have to show that what we are doing with children and families is being successful, that the programs that we have, the things that we are offering to the children and families are actually reducing their likelihood of coming back into state custody and also increasing their ability to stay at home successfully and become productive citizens and, of course, as we hope, become good Christians.
Throughout a child's life, the need for faith, hope, and love is ever present. The void made in children's lives by abuse, neglect, trauma, and loss require a need for compassion. But even faith-based programming does not sustain itself. As with anything in our world, certain financial resources are required. Today's prisons are filled with examples of children who fell through the cracks along the way. Such tragedy can be prevented. Before entering the Tennessee Children's Home, a good number of children were well on that path.
Obviously, elders have a responsibility for their own congregation, but all of us have a responsibility for our young people. They are our future. They're our future in the church and they're our future in society, and we need to help them. And any way that we can, I think, is a good thing.
This is a very good work, and lives are being changed. It's a process, and sometimes it's not a short process. It takes time for these kids to learn to trust again. We provide a very consistent environment, and I think that helps. So my word to those out there who have the opportunity to see and hear what we're talking about is what we do here at the Children's Home is very, very beneficial, and it is changing lives. It is changing lives.
While our world has changed around us, the needs of the neglected children and youth are still ever present.
We want to be able to provide the best services possible to the children and the families we serve. With the support of the churches and individuals, I believe the Tennessee Children's Home can serve and be a really strong advocate for Christ and to help families and children get back together for the next 100 years.
For 100 years, Tennessee Children's Home has worked to put children and their families first, and for the next 100 years, we will continue to provide. Please partner with us in this vital investment in the future.